But winter is coming. We know what's coming with it.
Alright, let's get started right away. We got 2 cups of water in our Vitamix, 1 container of cherry tomatoes, 1 28-ounce can of San Marzano tomatoes. We're going to add some Himalayan salt and some fresh cracked pepper. Then we're going to add some Greek seasoning. If you don't have Greek seasoning, this little oregano, basil will work. About 1.5 tablespoons of cashews and a 1/4 cup of milk or half and half, and a dash of red wine vinegar. Lastly is 1 vegetable bouillon cube. Put the lid on tight. If you have the soup setting on your Vitamix, use that. If not, you're going to put it on high for 5 minutes. Now while that's blending, I made a grilled cheese sandwich. Then I moved over to the cutting board and I'm going to cut off all the crust. And then I'm going to cut this into bite-sized pieces, and I'm going to use those grilled cheese croutons in the tomato soup. Alright, that's soup number 1. Let's move on to soup number 2.
What is the soup du jour?
It's the soup of the day.
That sounds good. I'll have that.
Alright, for the potato cheddar bacon, we need 2 medium-sized russet potatoes. We're going to scrub them down really good. Use a fork to puncture a few holes in them. Spray them with a little bit of olive oil and wrap them up tightly in tin foil. You're going to put into your oven at 400 degrees for 40 to 50 minutes. Once they are done and cooled off a little bit, you're going to cut them into small pieces, not too small, but into chunks. Now we're going to start off with 2 cups of water, 2 strips of bacon that's cooked, a little less than 1/4 of a white onion, half of a garlic clove, 1 of the russet potatoes, a chicken bouillon cube, 1/4 cup of shredded cheddar cheese, and a 1/4 cup of half and half or milk. We're going to put the lid on. We're going to set it to our soup setting. If you don't have the soup setting, you're going to set it to the highest level you can get. And we're going to let that go for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes is up, we're going to take the lid off. We're going to add some white pepper, some pink Himalayan salt. We're going to add the other russet potato that we chopped up. Put the lid on. Now we're going to have it on the lowest setting, and just for about 15 seconds or so, we're going to let that chop up. This gives us a little bit of a chunky potato soup. Now it's time to serve. Pour that right into our bowl. And we're going to garnish it with some chopped up green onion and some broken up bacon bits. and you have delicious potato cheddar bacon soup. It's out of this world. Alright, on to number 3.
Soup.
Okay, here we go with soup number 3. 1 bunch of asparagus. I cut the bottoms off. I took those tops off and I'm going to save those for garnish. Put that into the blender with 2 cups of water, 2 tablespoons of cashew nuts, 2 tablespoons of Pearl Barley, half of a garlic clove, about a little bit less than a quarter of a white onion going in, 3 strips of cooked bacon, and some pink Himalayan salt, and some white pepper. Put the lid on, and we'll put it on our soup setting, and let that run. Now the asparagus tips I've cooked in a microwave, and I'm going to use those for garnish at the end. Now, once our soup is done, we're going to put in a couple of big handfuls of baby spinach. And we'll put the lid on, and we'll put this on our lowest setting, number 1, and let that run for about 15-20 seconds. Just to chop up that spinach, not puree it, just enough to make it smooth. Now it's time to serve. We're going to pour that right into our bowl. We're going to take our asparagus tips and put those into the soup. And then some chopped up bacon for a nice garnish. And there you have it. 3 amazing blender soups. If you don't have a Vitamix, you can still do these recipes.